Hello everyone and welcome back to the official PokerStars channel. We are live once again. We're back on the airwaves and it's a Wednesday and today we are playing Spin and Goes. Welcome back guys. Pleasure to be here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. We're going to be playing the 25s to begin with guys. I don't know if we're still doing promotions at the moment. We'll fire up our first game and we'll see if we're still doing the Spin and Go prize pick. What was it called again guys? I always get this one wrong. Does it load? Is it gonna load? It might be offline before the change anyway. Yeah, okay, that's to be expected as well. What was it called guys? Spin and Go. Oh, it's gonna annoy me now. It's gonna annoy me. It's gonna really tilt me. What was it called? Spin and Go prize pick, Spin and Go tombola, Spin and Go. Oh man, it's gonna really tilt me now. Hey John Edwards, how's it going? Hello everyone in chat, by the way. Thank you very much, Ed and Tom, taking care of us today as mods. 2 barrels is probably still fine with this combo. I'm gonna go a little bit smaller though. Nice. Sneak in there in the small blind. That is a pretty damn good flop. We will be raising, of course, gang. Like, look, this guy could have limped aces or 9s or 7s. The 9s and 7s are pretty unlikely at this point. I think we just go absolutely chunkster here. Still a decent pickup there. But on that texture, when 2 players seem interested, they will have the draws that we want to really punish, especially with that much money in the middle already. The ace-x combos will still struggle to fold, especially if he's trapped ace-king on the button or something like that. Suni is saying, anyone got any troubles with depositing on stars? So there are some bugs that we're trying to iron out after the big server restart, buddy. It might be to do with that. I'm not saying that's definitely it, but I would hold out for a little bit and wait and see if there's more announcements on the Twitter and stuff like that. I know the team is working to get some messaging out as we speak. Definitely got a call at least once here. I don't know if maybe we raise. I think that's actually might be cool. We can get some 6x, some deuce x, some 9x to fold. What if we did something like this? That's kind of cool, right? I dig it. I dig it. And then here, probably a little bit of everything is fine. Let's sneak in a little steal with the queen 9. Again, really nice flop here. Don't mind that. Keep it balanced. I think this is how we bluff, so that's what we're going to do here with our value. And then on the turn, with the double flushing board, he's going to have more draws, right? He's not going to have that much value. I think we want him to try and bet here at some point. I don't think he's going to have an ace that often. Okay, let's check all the river. Aces and 5s would be annoying. That's a weird counterfeit, right? Yeah. I'm surprised he doesn't semi-bluff with the draw on the turn, but we're thinking along the right lines. Betting there is fine. Obviously, king 8 of spades might still give us some value, but I think when your opponent is in position there and you check, very frequently what they're going to try and do is they're going to try and semi-bluff their draws. I'm not saying that's what you should do necessarily, but I think that people in general do. And of course, in that scenario, if that's our read on the turn, on the river, we're going to try and do the same thing. We're going to try and encourage the misdraws to bluff, which is what we see there. And then, you know, we have to play it by ear. But for example, I can't see my balance when I'm on the main page. That's known. They're resolving it, but the actual funds exist and I can still play. So it's all good. Nice and small on the flop here. This is how we would bluff, I believe. And then again on the turn, it's a question as to whether or not we check. Our hand is so strong. We would love to see this guy semi-bluff here when we have a hand where we've got showdown with the draw. Let's take a check and see how he responds on the turn. And then we're probably going to be happy shoving still, right? I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? I don't know. Calling seems good too. Against this player we have marked in blue. If we call and then check, are we going to miss value? Possibly. Because if he has the draw, we punish it with a shove. If he has a 9 or a 7, he probably still calls. I mean, it's a huge pot to win at non-showdown anyway, right? But how do we get max? Like, if he has the ace of clubs or the king of clubs, which again, I don't think is super, like, that's not really part of what the range is meant to look like necessarily, but if he has like 8-10 with a 10 of clubs, like a player we have marked in blue with these kinds of notes, I don't think is going to probably give that kind of thing up, which is great for us. If they have the 9 or the 7, they're probably going to end up calling as well because we played our hand kind of weird. They do have like a bigger club, I guess. We're putting them in a bad spot as well. Interesting situation though. Let's take a look at that after this game, because I'd like to actually give that a little bit more thought instead of just breezing past. James loves God. How you doing? Welcome, first time chatter. Thank you for the good lucks. Sure. Yeah, and yeah, you search for it, but you can't see some information. I'm sure. I think we're working on messaging now, like as we speak. 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's got to be a little bit bigger here on the turn to get the full pot river. And then yeah, just triple off, right? I mean, we get called by the 8, we get called by the 6. This is pretty dreamy river bet, right? We're blocking the straights as well. Fold that one. We can shove this against this player. I'm happy just to play super slow. We don't need to be ultra aggro as we get shallow here. We can play really passively against this guy, and we're just gonna win so many more chips at non-showdown with way less variance. This one we're obviously pushing versus limp. That's pretty straightforward, right? Thank you for the kind words, Linarts. I appreciate that. Hope you have a good day too. Iron says I played this morning on ES. Cool. I mean, there's a chance maybe while they're trying to resolve that server, they're doing something. They had to take it offline, or I don't know. Again, I'm just guessing. But if I hear anything, I'll let you guys know here on stream. Otherwise, we're just gonna try and win spins. For Trey, again, seems very willing to just check versus limp, which is fantastic for us. So let's play it like this. Trey. Okay, that actually might work in our favor. That's really unfortunate because it's the perfect payoff river for fours. The fact that fours didn't shove there pre-flop is a perfect indication that our read is good here as well, by the way. The fact that he's not shoving fours versus a limp there is so tight from out of position. That means our strategy of limping and playing in position and all that kind of stuff that I was describing is great, because we're gonna win so much at non-showdown if our opponent is not aggressive enough versus the limp, which we see. If fours is still a check, he's not nearly aggressive enough from that position, and we can do that big adjustment. And now hopefully our push fold game should be slightly better than this player. As we get shallow here, they're probably going to massively overfold in spots where they shouldn't, and we should be able to chip up pretty significantly again. Getting walks there is huge. Running king 5, of course, easy push. Getting called by jack 10 is fair. Put the chips in good, and no dice. Good game for us though there. Just came down to the wire. Put the chips in good, no good. Standard spins. Move on to the next one. For Trey. I think, are we still calling this one here, guys? Some of these I just like memorized wrong. I think we're still okay to call with the connector. It's not the worst flop I've ever seen, guys. I think it's important that we check turn here because we really want him to either bet the queen or we want him to rep the queen. And I think this is one of those moments where we get a lot of that. So, at this point, obviously our intention is to check call and make it look like we have a 5 or a deuce or a 6 or a diamond draw or whatever. And then on the river, of course, the ace-he's got to shove, right? There's no chance the ace isn't going to go all in here at this point. And we get the lot. Yeah, especially ace-queen. This is a cold deck for that player specifically, but we're still playing it in a manner where we're going to get maximum. And of course, we do have leads on that turn, but the queen in particular hits a lot of that check back flop range. So, it's good. King 9's definitely a call versus push. Wish me luck. Can we get the Santa Claus to work this time? Oh, the Santa Claus never fails, right? I'm telling you guys, I don't want to become that superstitious guy, that superstitious poker player. I'm just saying, whenever I throw that sleigh and I make a call, I feel like I win way more often. Ace-9, gonna find a limp here at this deeper stack depth, calling the ISO. This is actually a really nice spot to sneak in some limp calls with aces because we do a lot of limp shoving with our ace combos. Nice playable ace, suited ace in position. Snap checks the flop is a bit weird. I'm a bit confused by the snap check here, so let's see how we go on the turn. I would anticipate them to bet the flop here, and if they're not, we have to bet the turn now, and I think this is probably a good way to do it. So King Jack maybe, Queens Kings maybe. Are we going absolutely crazy if we shove here and try and get value from those specific combos? I don't think he has jacks or aces. All right, wish me luck. Or pocket eights, that works too. We can trap King Jack suited at the stack depth. Definitely a tramp here is fine. If they're not going to lead the turn, I kind of want to do this, I think. Because I definitely don't want the 8x and the deuce x to get to river, get to showdown. We have equity against them if they call the turn as well. Wow, getting check shoved is gross here. I mean, they're going to have draws that we're beating here with King Jack. Oh, it's so mean. Hate that spot. Oh, that makes me sad. I really was not anticipating a check raise once they missed the turn bet there, but okay, it's fair. We have a straight with the 9, guys. This is the perfect overbet jam spot. He's going to call for the chop. People love calling for chops. People absolutely love calling for chops, and it's a huge leak. All right, nice and big on the turn here. Really punish the diamonds and the spades and the straight draws. Get in action. King of Hearts is pretty clean here. How do we get max here? So we get called by worse sevens. Do we ever check here? Do we ever check call? We still get value from the 7 if we check. We still get value from, the missed draws sometimes if they bluff. The player in position can bluff as well. I mean, this guy can still have like pocket jacks and pocket kings when he limps the button. I would say he's probably the least likely to have trip 7s that we have beat. So we're going to flat, I guess. Nice. We did convince him to bluff. Max Val. Pretty spicy check, in my opinion. And of course, we're calling the shove, guys. Can we give him the slay first? In response to your question, it has to be an exploit because it basically doesn't exist in GTO full stop. However, in general, when people are limping buttons, it's because they don't really know what they're doing. So their range construction is going to be all over the place. Some players only ever limp the button when they have a monster. Some players limp the button because they think this is a good strategy and they have a whole bunch of junk that they shouldn't, which means they always fold. Overall, you probably in that scenario, the majority of what I would probably try and attempt here, no counterfeit, is with my like suited Broadway, I'd probably like raise to 4 big blinds to try and isolate the initial limp. And then with hands like King Queen offsuit or Ace 5 offsuit or Ace 10 offsuit, and a lot of the stuff that doesn't like to play from out of position as a raise not all in, but is strong enough to shove, we just shove that. But my point being that it's very difficult to indicate what would be considered GTO, because in order for there to be GTO, there has to be a precedent for there to be a limp in the button in the first place, and it's just not a thing, more or less. Does that make sense? So will that shove make a ton of money? Absolutely. But almost anything that we do after the button limps is going to be exploit oriented, because whatever the player is doing on the button is almost always kind of wrong, if that makes sense. So this guy might have a king. Yeah. He shouldn't really have an ace, to be honest. Queen high float makes sense, though. I mean, that's fair. But, you know, it's the same as, like, king queen there is, like, the same as, like, ace 5 off or, like, ace 9 off or whatever. We're just going to get those stuff in. 7s and the 9s. This is pretty straightforward, guys. We're not concerned about these spots. Get some jacks all in against some oh, my days. Pocket 3s. It was the wrong throwable. Never mind, I take it back. The money fan was perfect. It was the wrong throwable. We should have thrown the sleigh. Kiev cutlets. Kiev cutlets. Kiev cutlets. Nice. Hey, what's up, Tag? Welcome to the chat. We are going to trap pocket jacks here. And we should, against the reg, have a lot of really good value bets on the ace high texture, as our opponent is very capped to not having a lot of ace X combos. So we're going to bet the flop. I think we probably do bet the turn here still as well. We would really like the 8X and Deuce X combos to give us more value, as well as the diamonds. Pocket 9's pretty monstrous here, guys. Wish me luck. Can we win the flip? No dice. Should have thrown the... we should have thrown him first, guys. Can a pair of 3s win this pot? That is a great flop, guys. That is an absolutely stellar flop. That is a pretty good turn, too. What's up, Dean? It's good, man. How you doing? Really hard to fold a king here if you're out of position, if you have a good king, a good kicker. I think we'll have plenty of bluffs on the flop and the turn there though as well. This is getting close to a call. I'm not going to do it here though. This one is actually a shove. How was the board meeting, mate? Against a reg, we're going to call the shove here, though, guys. This is pretty clear against a reg for sure. We do actually have a domination situation. Chop it is. Ace 9, we can just... Actually, we still have a trap here at 7. Ace 9 suited is strong enough to trap here. This time we're going to give him the slay, guys. Don't worry. There we go. All right, cool. So that's a good game from us. So I'm going to wrap it there, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you guys have had a good stream, and I hope you guys have good luck at the tables. I'm going to clock off there. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Chapter Poke Show. Love you all very much. Follow me on social media and check out my links here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. See you guys.